Hello students, in our previous video we were discussing about the human eye, and we only see things around us when light coming from them enters our eyes. And since eye is one of our most important sense organ, therefore it is important to understand its working, and we have discussed its structure in our previous video. So sometimes when we see an object, the light rays coming from the object enters the pupil. Then these light rays coming from the object enter the pupil of the eye and they fall on the eye lens. In our eye there is a double convex lens which converts the light ray. We know that the convex lens is known as a converging lens, and because of the convergence of the light, real and inverted image is formed on the retina. We know that retina is a screen on which the image is formed in eye, and the retina is present behind the eye lens at the back part of the eye. And the eye lens focused the image of an object on the retina, and this retina is attached to the optic nerve. So the optic nerve carries the image formed on retina to the brain in the form of electrical signals, and the space between the cornea and eye lens, it is filled with a viscous liquid called the aqueous humor, and the between eye lens and retina, it is filled with another liquid which is called the vitreous humor. So the retina has large number of light sensitive cells, and these cells are known as rod cells and cone cells. So when the light falls on the retina, then these light sensitive cells generate electrical signal which are then sent to the brain through the optic nerve, and due to this we are able to read the erect image of the object. You have to remember one thing, that the image formed on the retina is inverted, but our brain interprets this image as erect image. Rod and cones, there are the two kinds of light sensitive cells, and rod cells, they are rod shaped, which are present in the retina of the eye and are sensitive to the dim light. We have learned about rod and cone cells in our previous video also. Rod cells, they are sensitive to dim light, so they have a rod shaped, so they are known as the rod cells, and they are the most important for vision in dim light. Rod cells of retina, they do not provide information about the color of the object, whereas the cone shaped cells present in the retina of the eye, which are sensitive to bright light, are called cones. The sensation of color of object in our eye is also caused by cones. Therefore, cones present in the retina of the eye are responsible for the color vision, and cones do not function in dim light. So there is a chart that tell us about the working of the human eye. Light coming from an object enters the eye, then the lens, biconvex lens present in our eye, focuses the light ray to form an inverted image on the retina. Inverted image, the image that is formed below the principal axis, is known as the inverted image, and real image is always inverted. Rods and cones of the retina get activated and generate an electrical signal. They generate an electric signal, and this signal is carried to the brain by optic nerve, and the brain interprets these signals and renders the erect image of the object. On retina, we have also discussed that as there are no sensory cell at the junction of the optic nerve, so no vision is possible at that spot, and this spot is known as blind spot. So we can demonstrate the presence of blind spot on an eye. So for this, on a plain sheet of paper, you have to mark a dark dot on the right side and a plus sign on the left, at a distance of approximately 15 centimeter and place this sheet approximately 50 centimeter away from your face, and close your face, close your eye and stare at the mark, at the plus mark with your right eye, and slowly move your face toward the paper and keep looking at the plus mark as you move. At a distance of about 30 centimeter, the dot disappear because the image of the dot falls on the blind spot of the eye, and we know that there are no rod and cone cells, and there is no vision is possible at the blind spot. So it will reappear if you move closer. Similarly, if you close the right eye and stare at the dot with the left eye and follow the same step as you did above, the plus sign will disappear when the image of the plus falls on the blind spot. So the next is our persistence of vision. When we look at a bright object and close our eyes, the image of the object will remain in our eyes for a very short duration. Therefore, the image formed on the retina of the eye does not fade away immediately, and it is the impression of the image lasts for 1/16th of a second. 1/16th of a second. So, if stationary images, means still images of a moving object, are flashed on the eye at the faster rate than the 16 per second, then the eye perceives this object as a moving, and this is known as a persistence of vision. And because of the phenomena of persistence of vision, we are able to see the movie pictures in a cinema hall. This is because if the still pictures of a moving object are flashed on our eyes at a rate faster than 16 pictures per second, then due to persistence of vision, the eye perceives this object as moving. And the movies which we see on cinema hall screen are due to the persistence of vision. In actual practice, any scene consists of a number of separate pictures, we know that, in a proper sequence. Okay, the image of these pictures are made to move in front of the eye at a rate of 24 pictures per second. Then persistence of vision or 16 pictures per second, and this gives a sense of continuity, and hence we see the moving picture. And because of this, the slightly different images of the successive pictures present on the film merge smoothly into one another and give us the feeling of the movie. Now, there is another thing that is known as a range of the vision of a normal human eye, which is also known as a power of accommodation. One of the remarkable property of the eye is the ability of the eye to observe distinctly the object anywhere from about 25 centimeter to hundreds of kilometers away. So the ability of the eye lens to adjust its focal length so as to see the object located anywhere is called the power of accommodation, and it is also known as a range of vision. And the minimum distance at which the eye can see the object very clearly without strain is called the near point of the eye. And the most comfortable distance at which one can see object, which is with a normal eye, is about 25 centimeter. And in other, we can say that the near point is about 24 centimeter for a normal eye. And the farthest point up to which the eye can see object clearly without strain is called the far point of the eye, and for a normal eye the far point is infinity. So by focusing the image of the distant object as well as the nearby object on its retina by changing the thickness of its lens, a normal eye can see a distant object as well as a nearby object. And the major role of ciliary muscles plays a very important role in this. The ciliary muscles of the eye can change the thickness of the soft and flexible eye lens and thus change the converging power of the eye lens. So thin eye lens has less converging power, whereas a thick eye lens has greater converging power on the rays of light coming from an object. And there is home assignment for you. The topic defects of vision, care of eyes of other animals, and visually challenged person can read and write. We will discuss about them in our next video. So there is a home assignment for you. Name the part of the eye which gives color to the eyes. Explain how do we see various objects. Third question is there. Though the image formation on retina is inverted, but still we are able to see the erect object. Explain how. What is power of accommodation? What do you understand by persistence of vision? Thank you.